Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me.
Welcome to Mike Vecchione Investigates, everybody. It's a very special episode on location because I am in Aruba and I came here for journalism. So if you're at home going, oh, another vacation, Mike, this is the laziest investigatory podcast I've ever listened to. You can shut your mouth because we have to go to the ends of the earth. And by the ends of the earth, I mean an exclusive island for island investigations. And we have to do that. And the first investigation, Shannon, before I even ask you how you are, because this is a self-centered podcast and people watch it for that reason, and listen to it. A lot of our fans don't own computers. They're poor. And I'll tell you something right now, Shannon. The first investigation is there was a mosquito in the room last night and I got bit severely.
Oh, no.
Yes, I got bit by a mosquito and I woke up itching. And of course, I go directly to the bedbug possibility. Is it a mosquito that morphed with a bedbug? Is it a bedbug bite that's going to eventually blow up into a bigger thing and cause an issue? I try to, in my mind, go somewhere towards bedbugs, even though it's a mosquito. I can definitely feel it. So a mosquito was in the bed last night. Katie Hannigan confirmed it, that there was probably a mosquito who got in the bed last night. And mosquitoes are promiscuous because he bit both of us. He or she. I'm not putting a gender on this mosquito. This mosquito is promiscuous, a slut. It's a slut mosquito.
You can't say that either, Mike.
What? You can't say slut?
No.
I didn't specify what the gender. Maybe it's a male mosquito. Maybe it's a female mosquito. Maybe it's a non-binary mosquito or a mosquito that is unsure of its sexuality. But either way, the mosquito was bitey last night. A bite that was non-consensual because I was sleeping. And if we've learned anything from Cosby, sleeping is not consent. It's not consent. It's not funny. So I thought this mosquito thought it would be hilarious to bite both of us. But we woke up this morning itching and afraid. And that's the kind of state I'm in right now.
Did it bite you both in the same spot?
Shannon, that's a personal thing.
Sorry.
On a doll. But asking that question this soon after the incident is, are you like a city cop? Are you a transit cop? What is this, Shannon? How about a little compassion for you? You're dressed like a sexy therapist, and it makes me curious. We're both wearing red today, which attracts mosquitoes, apparently. So I would watch your back, even though it's degrees there.
It is 12 degrees here, but we will both be in the islands at the same time because on Monday I'll be in Jamaica.
You're going to Jamaica, Shannon.
Yeah, I didn't think I was on the fence of whether I would be able to go or not. But when this episode airs, I will be in Jamaica, hopefully.
Is that your boyfriend's name? The fence? Because then you could say you are on the fence when you guys have sex. Yep, write it down because that's a horn.
Yes, it was.
So you're ready for your. I mean, I don't know why we have to compete like this, Shannon. It feels like every time I go to an island, shortly after I go to an island, you go to an island. And it's not a coincidence. It's just not a coincidence anymore. And I think that if you think it's a coincidence, you're watching the wrong podcast, because this is an investigatory podcast based on facts and evidence. And this is not a coincidence, Shannon. What is your problem? Why can't you just let me go to an island and live my life?
Actually, Mike, I think that this time I told you weeks ago that I would be in Jamaica. And I think once you heard that, you were like, oh my God, I better hurry up and get back to Aruba before she goes to Jamaica, just to beat me there, to say that I am again following you.
So you think I subconsciously booked the trip?
No, I think you consciously did it.
Oh, you're saying I'm premeditated.
Yes.
A first-degree booking.
Yes.
I thought about it, and then I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. Now I'm blaming you. I'm trying to divert the attention from myself onto you, Shannon.
That's right.
Some pretty heavy accusations that you're lobbing at me via internet. Because if we were in studio, I don't think you would say this to my face, Shannon.
I think I would, Mike.
Because I have millennial tantrums sometimes, and sometimes I flip out, and you know that about me, that I flip out, and you're gaslighting me right now. And it's triggering that you're gaslighting, and I'm putting you on notice.
Then I guess I have to apologize to Katie, because I'm getting you all angry, and then she's going to be the one that has to deal with you afterwards.
You're getting me hangry. Which is another word that people say now.
Yeah,
Okay?
Too much. They say it too much.
People say it a lot. And so we came down. I mean, I came down late. I did the Patrice O'Neill benefit on Tuesday, which was fantastic. For those of you who are living under a rock, Patrice was one of the best comics ever. And he passed away 9 years ago. And they've been doing a benefit show ever since for 9 years. And I got to be part of it. And I did know Patrice towards the end of his life, and I was happy to do it, and it was a packed show, and it was sold out, and it was fantastic. And then I did the testing. I was going to do the testing because we tested to do the COVID tested before the show. Everybody had to COVID test. Hollywood is very, very up on that. They make you COVID test before you perform. And so I did the COVID test. So I thought I'd use the COVID test, Shannon, for the travel, but it's like we were testing at 6:30 at night, and I was leaving at 7 a.m. So we had to do the show. So there's no way I could upload it. I don't mind getting the COVID test. I don't like uploading it and then downloading it to the sites and everything that you have to do. You have to be a computer science engineer in order to get all of this done. Upload it to the site, download it to this site, fill out 9,000 forms. It's like, oh my God, I don't mind. Can I just have the test and bring it to the airport? But apparently not. So you have to upload it and download it, and the computer tells you if it's correct or not. The computer is our God now, apparently, and we don't have any human interaction. So I was afraid, Shannon, that the test, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't upload it in time. So I went Tuesday morning at Katie Hannigan's suggestion, which was solid. Katie comes up with some solid advice sometimes, I got to say. She goes, go to this place at 9 a.m. as soon as you wake up. Because I got back from the Nate's tour on Monday. We went to a bunch of different cities. And I woke up and went and got a test. And that just getting that test is like, upload all your information, upload your insurance cards. It's like, I have to take a picture of the card, and then what do I do now? It's like download and then download it to your computer and then upload it to the site. It's like, can I just bring it? Can I just bring it to the office? So I had to figure that out the night before. I got a test, and they got me the results. And right before the benefit, I uploaded them to the site. I figured it out, and I got all set. So before I went to the benefit, I had all my stuff taken care of. So, and then we did the benefit. The benefit was a huge success, and then I went home and then went to sleep, and then got up and didn't sleep but 2 hours. So a lot of people are like, Mike, you're in Aruba. What could you complain about? And I just gave you about 10 things that I can complain about. I didn't get any sleep at all. I didn't get any sleep. And I had to upload my insurance card, and I couldn't figure it out. And I did it finally, but I freaked out about it. So those are the things that were happening. And then I got here, and Katie's parents were here. Shout out to Kevin and Jenny. They nailed it. And Katie was doing various activities with them. So she knew that I was coming in, and she knew that I freak out when I only have 2 hours sleep. So I checked into the hotel, and they give you a wristband because they track you like you're a wolf. So I have to keep this on the entire time. I'm sleeping with it and also showering with it. For those of you out there jealous, this bracelet gets to see me naked. Sorry. This bracelet gets to see the sexuality. And so she went into the butterfly farm with her parents, which is a huge attraction here, Shannon, a butterfly farm.
That sounds amazing. Does she take pictures? I want to see them.
It's amazing. Staten Island has moths, but Aruba has butterfly farms, which is a moth with makeup. So at least our moths actually get ready here to go out and stuff and get dressed up. So she went to the butterfly farm with her parents, and I slept for about approximately 3 hours. And then I woke up and met them for dinner. So all's well that ends well, Shannon.
It sounds like a lovely first day. And all the annoying stuff is out of the way now. Like, you did it. You made it there.
Yeah, I made it, but it was high pressure. It's like a countdown when you got to get these tests in. It's like you got to do it 24 hours before the travel, 48 hours before the travel. It's like a James Bond movie in order to get your test done. Is it going to be back on time? Because the thing, when I went to the testing site, is like, it's a 36-hour turnaround. I'm like, well, that doesn't help me at all. It's like, well, it's usually faster than that, but they don't like to hold themselves to a standard because they don't want people to flip out, which I would have done. And so they got the test on time, and then it's like, okay, now you have to upload it 12 hours before the flight. Everything is like it's like a time crunch. So I'm figuring it out. It's like when nuclear, your submarine is going to automatically launch nuclear missiles towards Russia and start World War III, and you have a countdown in order to redirect the missiles and to blow them up and to have them self-destruct. You know movies like that, Shannon?
Mm-hmm, I do.
Okay, well, that's what it feels like, except it's not a movie. It's real life.
I'm going through that. I'm going through that now because there's different information on different websites about what's actually required to travel internationally. And so when we all first looked it up, I was under the impression only a PCR test can be used to travel. But now all of the websites are saying that a rapid test is okay. So I'm scared to believe that. Right. And it keeps saying that it has to be done within 24 hours of flying. And it didn't say anywhere about 72 hours before flying. So now I'm going to have to go tomorrow morning to get tested and hope that I get the results in time and then do the uploady thing and whatever. So I still have all of that ahead of me.
Yeah, but you're smart, Shannon. And when your glasses are on, your IQ goes up 15 points. So I'm sure you're going to figure it out immediately. But for a meathead like myself, a lughead, I'm actually not a meathead. I'm a thoughtful person, but not in the right way. I'm the worst kind of thoughtful, which was my album in 2018 that everybody should have already purchased. But like I spin out. You're more, because of your job, Shannon, you probably always like this. You know how to methodically work through things, and you're really good under pressure. For those of you out there going, Shannon isn't that good under pressure. She's just easy on the eyes. You shut your mouth. Shannon is very good under pressure. How dare you? So A lot of the fans probably think that, Shannon, and I have to set them straight for you.
Thanks, Mike.
And can I say something off the record?
Mm-hmm.
This internet is saying it's slow. The internet is slow. Is that going to affect the feed?
There's been a couple of times where the audio isn't exactly syncing up with like your mouth, but I don't think it's problematic. It's been like a negligible amount.
Negligible. And we could probably look up that word if we were in studio. A negligible amount. Shannon really got her glasses on today. But she said it's a negligible amount.
Here, I can share it.
Installed enough now. Negligible for our fans out there who are dropped out of elementary school. So small or unimportant as to not to be worth considering. Insignificant, I would say, or the definition would say. Insignificant amount. And that's a good word, Shannon. That's a good pull on your part.
Thank you. It's the glasses.
It's the glasses that's making you step it up. But it's infuriating if, the internet is unstable. Because it's like, is anything stable in life? It's not. And you look to your internet for a little stability, and then it pops up and goes, the internet is unstable. And it's like, come on. Can you be a rock for me, internet? I want the internet to be a rock, but it turns out the internet is unstable. Can I tell you another quick story before we get into it, Shannon?
Please do.
The water got cut off in the hotel yesterday morning. We woke up, no water, no toilet flushing, no water at all. And that happened in our apartment a couple times. So I figured, oh, this is New York just following us. The problems of New York just follow you. I'm getting bit. The water's not working. Why did I leave the city? It's like 80 degrees and this is happening instead of 20 degrees. So we had to make do with no water. You don't realize really how much you need water. Something as simple as water. We're very fragile. We walk around thinking, oh, I have it all together, especially you, Shannon, with those glasses. You're like, I have it all together. Where's my purse? Where's my keys? I know everything, and I can take the bus, and I can move around, and I'm independent and feminism, and sometimes I can be an astronaut, and I feel like it. And you're just walking around with all this confidence and this bravado, and it turns out if you didn't have water for one morning, you would collapse. Your whole little world would collapse. And mine did. My world collapsed. I didn't know what to do. I was in a norms crisis, and what did I do? I went, I had to go to the gym and just forget about it. I was like, I'll just create my own water, which is sweat. And I had my own system going, and I went to the gym at another hotel. So I got a workout in. How's this, Shannon?
That's great, Mike. Were you able to use the shower at that gym?
It's solid steel sex appeal. Let me correct you.
I apologize.
It's not. You have to use a jingle or some kind of, that's how OJ got off, if it doesn't fit, you must quit. You have to say something jingly like that. Solid steel sex appeal. That's what gets the fans. And that's probably why our numbers are down, Shannon.
It's my fault.
Because we don't have, no, because you're not using jingles. It's great. People don't tune in for it's great. People tune in for jingly kind of phrases and sing-songy tunes. People want that, Shannon, and people are subscribing to Gas Digital for that, and to watch Puerto Rican Rattlesnake fight 6 people at Skankfest, and that too. What are your plans in Jamaica, Shannon, before we get into it?
I don't even know yet. I've had a really crazy
cat.
What?
Besides the fans, who's going to watch your cat besides the fans right now? Are you just going to leave Zoom on and the fans can watch the cat?
No, you have no idea what's happened over the past couple of weeks with this cat. This is little guy. He was like very ill about 2 weeks ago and stopped eating. And I thought it was.
I do a joke. It's a good thing he has 9 lives.
I can't see my phone now. So yes, he was very sick. He stopped eating, and I thought it was going to pass, but it didn't. And I started to feel he was losing weight. So I was like, I have to bring him to the vet. And he hasn't been to the vet in 100 years because he hates getting into the carrier.
Can I do another joke? Can I do another joke?
Yeah.
Maybe he was doing intermittent fasting, and you know that because you do the podcast with me, and I'm so lean that it's crazy. And maybe your cat was trying to get sexy, and you got jealous.
I didn't even consider that, Mike. That's possible.
Go ahead. Sorry, but the fans need these jokes. They need them.
So, okay. So I bring him to the vet, and they have to admit him into the animal hospital, which I hate the whole idea of. In my mind, all I'm doing is picturing this like poor little thing sitting in a cage, scared, hungry, whatever. So they had to admit him. He stayed for 2 days. And then they told me something with his liver. He was jaundiced.
Anna, can I say something else? Okay. Wouldn't it be great if it's an animal hospital, instead of dialing 911 for a person, you dialed 1011 for an animal? Like a different 11, 811 or a 711. Maybe depending on how advanced the animal is, it's like a monkey is 811, and then maybe a dog is 711. Like how evolved they are, like dolphins and orangutans are 811, and then a 711, 611, and then if a plankton is sick, it's a 111 because it's single-celled.
Sure.
Okay, so he gets admitted to the hospital, and he looked at jaundiced, which is a word that our fans are confused on. What is jaundice? Is jaundice, is that your cousin?
Hold on, I'm writing the meeting.
Jaundice came over for Thanksgiving, wasn't wearing any pants. Jaundice.
Is this how you think my family speaks, Mike?
Yes, Shannon. A medical condition. Our fans need to know. They come to us for medical news. A medical condition with yellowing of the skin or whites of the eyes arising from excess of the pigment bilirubin, and typically caused by obstruction of the bile duct, by liver disease, or by excessive breakdown of red blood cells. Or, this is the one I prefer, bitterness, resentment, or envy. Do you think your cat was envious you for leaving to the islands?
Have you ever heard jaundice used in that way? I haven't.
I've never heard the other way, which is why we had to.
So like his nose is pink right now, but it was like yellowish, and the tips of his little ears were yellowish. And so we had some liver issues. And then his blood sugar was high, and it was all of this stuff. So I sent him home with medicine and whatever. And now I have to give him a pill. And I don't know if you know how to pill a cat, but you have to like hold them down, open their mouth, and drop a pill down their throat. It's terrible. I didn't know if you were going to say something.
No, is it worse than prediabetes? Your cat has prediabetes?
Well, at the time he did. Now, so I bring him back home, and he still won't eat. So after like 2 days, I couldn't give him his antibiotic because he has to take it with food. So I have to bring him back to the hospital. He's again dehydrated. His liver is a little bit worse again. Now I have to admit him for 3 days. And this time they say he is now full-blown diabetic. His liver levels are more normal, but yeah, he is diabetic. So now I have to give him 2 injections a day and test his urine to track his blood and everything. But it is it's not fun to give a cat an injection. I'm not a doctor. So after all of that, now I'm like, there's no way I can go to Jamaica still, because my cousin normally watches my cats while I'm away. But how can I ask him to now also give this cat injections and test his pee? Like, he would have to live here for the whole week. And then eventually I offered my cousin more money than I normally do, told him the whole thing. He came by last night to do like a test injection, and he is going to stay here and watch little guy. The end.
Oh my God, that's so much. So now forever, for the rest of your life, you have to do injections and pills for your cat?
So not the pills I don't have to do, because they ended up giving him some sort of like a time release antibiotic through an injection while he was in the hospital. So I don't have to give him the pill, but I do. I have to give him the injections. But they say that cats with feline diabetes, it actually can go away at some point. So it's possible he can recover from it, but we don't really know.
Is it when the veterinarian has enough money from you? Is that when it goes away?
Probably. It's been thousands of dollars so far.
Yeah, it sounds like he just made it up. It's like, oh yeah, it's a time release. You don't have to keep giving him a pill because I just did a time release thing that it works in cats differently and it's magic. And then once I've sucked you dry of enough money and you've gone bankrupt, then that's when the diabetes will go away. You know that.
It's probably true.
Craziness. How about a second opinion from maybe a giraffe? I mean, let's get other animals involved in it.
If it would be cheaper, I would give it a shot. I'd give it a shot.
Well, your cousin is good. I mean, who knew that your cousin would have to take the weekend to be a doctor?
Yeah, and he's a saint for doing it. I would never agree to do this for somebody else's animal.
You wouldn't agree to do it.
No, I hate doing it. Every morning I like dread it. My whole day is counting down the hour until I have to do it. And it sucks. I hate it.
Well, then it's probably weird between you two afterwards, the pet owner relationship after you've taken the cat and you know it's for his own good, but to him, he's just getting strangled and having something shut down his throat. So from his perspective, he's like, oh my God, what is going on here with this? She used to be nice. I mean, we used to have a great time together. I would just come up and like snuggle her and like rub myself on her. And then I would go away and everything seemed cool. But this every morning grabbing me and like almost making me vomit is crazy.
I was scared that he was going to be mad at me.
I think the cat should go to Jamaica and you should stay.
I would do it if I could. And I was terrified that he was going to be mad at me through every step of this whole thing. But he's such a good boy. And I give him the shots when he is eating, so he's distracted.
Oh, that makes it better. That's when I'd like a medical procedure right in the middle of a meal. That makes it better, Shannon. You don't know men. Oh, yeah, it's fun. It's fun when they're eating. They don't mind it when they're eating. It's like, Shannon, get a clue. I mean, get a clue.
When I do it, when I do it right, though, he barely notices that I did it when I do it right. But it's hard because my nails get in the way because it's a little bitty needle. And what you have to do is so you have to like pull their loose skin. You have to pull it up and then put the needle in and then pull out a little bit on the needle to make sure there's no blood and then push it in. But the process of pulling out and pushing it in with nails is virtually impossible to do. It took a lot. I've practiced on avocados a lot.
You practice this, Shannon?
I practiced on an avocado first before getting him.
Avocado. Well, taking loose skin, pulling it up, shooting something in. It sounds like a Staten Island circumcision, to be honest. Oh, Shannon, I had no idea that this was happening. Did you let Natalie know? Because she's part of the team. I hope you CC'd her on all this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people have heard me complaining about it in the studio, but it has been an exhausting whole thing. That's not over because like right now there's only one food he'll eat. And that one food is sold out of every single pet store that exists in the tri-state area. And I'm down to the last can. What did you say?
It's sold out at Petco.
Everywhere. It's sold out everywhere. I tried PetSmart, Chewy. I don't think Petco exists anymore. I think it's PetSmart. But yeah, I tried every single pet store that exists and they're out and I'm down to my last can. So that's my current stress is trying to find more food before I leave. And I found it on Amazon, but it won't be here until Tuesday and it costs $200 because I haven't spent enough on this whole thing yet. That's it. I'll stop talking about it.
But I'll tell you something right now, Shannon, and this is serious. I think that intermittent fasting, your cat not eating, reverses diabetes a lot of times. It reverses it. And I'm not a doctor, but you can take medical facts from this podcast. I think your cat was trying to heal himself before you got all pill pushy on him. He's probably trying to heal himself, and he probably knew the right way to do it by fasting and then eating and then fasting and then eating, which reverses diabetes. And that's medical facts for cats.
You could be right.
Maybe get him a mouse or something to distract him.
I don't really want a mouse.
What happened? Let's go old school with this. A mouse or a bird or something so that he can have like a predatory focus instead of sitting around thinking about his diabetes all day. It's like, oh, do I have diabetes? Do I not have diabetes? Like he's pondering it and things get too much time. It's like, I guess I could go scratch the couch again. It's like animals need a focus. Get a bird in there. Get something in there where he goes, this bird is a threat. I have to kill this bird. And then all of his focus goes and killing the bird. And then his diabetes magically gets cured, Shannon.
Then I'm going to have blood and feathers all over my apartment.
Blood and feathers would be a pleasure at this point, as opposed to what you just described. Blood and feathers is what you worried about?
That's a good point.
Instead of taking your best friend, putting him in a headlock and shoving pills down his throat. Shannon, this has been a tough episode. And I don't need it right now because I'm on an island.
I'm sorry to bring you down.
Really bringing me down. It's almost like you have no wall.
Uh-oh, lost you. Wow. That was so weird. I lost you and then my internet just went out.
Your internet collapsed, so it wasn't my fault. Maybe it was your cat.
I feel like he's eating. Oh. I feel like both things happened at the same time. I don't know how this is going to work with the timing of the episode now, but I'll pretend it's still going.
Serendipity, Shannon?
No, it's not a happy accident. No.
I didn't know what serendipity was.
It's a happy accident.
The happy accident, and you knew that definition off the top of your head.
Yeah,
you have to look that up.
No, because one of my favorite movies in the whole wide world is Serendipity, and that's the whole premise of the movie.
With Jim Belushi?
No, John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale and Eugene Levy.
Well, that was my.
And Jeremy Piven. I know the movie really well.
All the actors, Shannon?
I could probably act out the movie for you because I've seen it a million times.
Do you sometimes dress your cat up in a tuxedo and do that?
Not yet.
Shannon, that's a pretty good option.
Maybe when I get back from Jamaica.
Well, I mean, you have to stop forcing pills down his throat. But if you're going to do that anyway, you might as well put him in a tuxedo and act out the movie. You might as well do it. Just go the whole nine. My internet connection is unstable. What is stable in this world of cats with diabetes and people not having water?
Do you still not have water right now?
I didn't have it at 5 because we were supposed to get showered and go to dinner, and I was working out because I'm a masculine. I'm a man, and I was working out, and Katie was like, "We don't have water. We don't have water. My parents can't get a shower." No, the whole building didn't have water. Okay, I'm gonna out problem your problem, Shannon. The whole building didn't have water. Okay, I'm hysterical. The whole building didn't have it, and had to come back. And by the time I got back, the water was on. Serendipity. The water was back on. And yes, I am using it right, Shannon, because it was a happy accident that it was back on. And I had taken a shower, and then we went and we had a delicious dinner that Katie's parents paid for. Thank you, Kevin and Jenny. Nice. And so it was serendipitous. But do you think that the cat knocked out the internet just now? Because that doesn't seem like a thing that would just happen on your end. On my end, where it keeps warning me that the internet is unstable, yes. But on your end, the cat had something to do with it. Cat's out of the bag. Your thoughts, Shannon?
I don't think so, unless it was the other cat, because little guy was in my line of sight eating this whole time. Maybe Jax in the other room feels like he's not getting enough attention, or only was talking about little guy. So maybe Jax did it.
Jax?
Mm-hmm.
Do you name all of your cats after General Hospital characters?
No, he's named after the guy in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay. Well, how do you think the other cat feels when you're taking the first cat and strangling him and putting a pill down his throat, and that cat goes, "I'm healthy"? Do you think he's grateful, or do you think he's like, "What's this chick doing? Am I next?"
I think he sees it as me paying more attention to the other one. And it makes me feel bad a little bit. So I try to like make sure to spread my attention between the two of them. But even when I go to like give the injection to little guy, Jax will like run over and meow at me to try to make me pet him. And I'm like, this isn't the time. And I feel bad.
Do you feel like prisoners of war feel that way when somebody's getting waterboarded and they go, "Why is he getting all the attention?"
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I don't know how cats think, Shannon, but this has been an impromptu investigation. And if fans out there are going, "Mike, what's up with the structure of this podcast?" It's like, I didn't know Shannon was having a crisis at home and she needed it investigated. And I had to do that. And I'm on an island and I have my own problems here. And Shannon needed it impromptu because Shannon is a woman and women can be astronauts. But sometimes women get befuddled when their emotions get involved with a cat that has to be hospitalized and a veterinarian on the take. So we had to do an impromptu investigation. Shannon, how many minutes in are we? There's no timer here.
Approximately 35 minutes.
35?
Yeah.
We almost blew the whole podcast.
No.
Searching for answers, Shannon. We were searching for answers on this one, and I could tell it was going to be a good one. And this has been a great podcast. For those of you listening, going, I wonder if this is a good podcast. This is a great show. You guys are getting this, and it's streaming into your face right now. Oh my God, you guys didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. And Shannon's wearing red. I'm wearing red. And Shannon has glasses on, and I can see fine. And it's just like all the things are aligning.
It's like serendipity.
It's serendipitous. It's serendipitous, Shannon. And that's a word too. And that's a different word that I used. And I used it. All right, guys, I want to take a second to talk about our friends over at rockauto.com. Hey there, auto mechanics and super cool do-it-yourself guys who work on their own cars. I want to tell you about rockauto.com, the online store with every auto part at the best prices. This is your one-stop shop for everything auto parts. RockAuto.com has been in business for 20 years, and they make it easy to find the parts you need at the best possible prices. No more talking to counter guys who need to order your parts, aren't really sure what you're looking for, never have quite what you need, and then after all the hassle, will still charge you storefront markups. At RockAuto.com, you can easily find everything you need, and whether you're a mechanic, an auto shop, or working on your own car, everyone has access to the same incredible pricing at rockauto.com. So if you're a car guy, right now go to rockauto.com and check out all the parts available for your car. You're going to have so much fun looking at car parts. So once more, go to rockauto.com. No promo code needed as their pricing is already that good. When you order, make sure to tell rockauto.com that you heard about them on Mike Vecchione Investigates. rockauto.com. All right, guys, let's get back into it. Okay, Shannon, let's go to some fan questions because this has been a wild roller coaster of a podcast. Sometimes podcasts just happen that way. And I woke up and I didn't want to get up for this podcast, I'll be honest with you. And I was laying in bed and I made some weak coffee. And I was like, this coffee isn't going to be good enough. And it's not. But, you know, I feel like when the coffee is weak and the chips are down, that's when I'm at my best. I overcome adversity. And I'm overcoming it now. And I think I've almost solved your diabetic cat problem and the other cat who feels left out.
I think so too. All right. Want the first question?
Fan questions. These are fan questions. We got to bumper it with the title, Shannon, because our fans need to know. They can't find the front door in the morning, so they need at least the titles of the segments so that they don't get lost, which probably they do often, going to work every day, which they've been at a place they've been working at for 15 years. the box factory or something. Okay, let's go, Shannon. Fan questions. This is from the fans.
Okay, first question. Meatloaf has died from COVID. What food named singers do we have left?
Rest in peace, Meatloaf. Rest in peace, Meatloaf. My favorite food-related singer is now gone, and I need another food-related singer in my life, Shannon. And I don't know who, is there another singer out there? Maybe we can look it up. What other food-named singers are there? Because Meatloaf was my meat and potatoes. I would go to him. He was my go-to guy when I needed a food singer. And now there's nobody. Is Jelly Bean? Is there a Butterbean is a boxer, but he doesn't write music like Meatloaf.
Okay, I have a Black Eyed Peas. It's a group.
Okay, yeah. The Black Eyed Peas are a healthier option than Meatloaf. Meatloaf was a 70s dish that you could get, but Black Eyed Peas is very specific. Is there a band called Quinoa? Maybe?
I don't think
That would be a great name for a soft rock band that doesn't want to upset your stomach at all and doesn't want to like rock the boat. Quinoa. If I was going to start a band, Shannon, do you want to start a band called Quinoa?
Yes, I eat a lot of quinoa.
Yes. That could be our band. Who's the singer? Can you sing?
No.
Okay, well, me neither. Maybe we're just instrumental.
Or we can
just do
auto
instrumental.
tune. We can auto tune it.
We don't do tricks on people, Shannon.
No.
Okay. We'll do like Kenny G. It's just songs.
I have more
Songs
bands.
that people can relate. Okay, Black Eyed Peas. That's a great one.
Bowling for Soup.
Bowling for Soup is unbelievable because that's an activity and a food.
Cake. I don't think I've heard of them, but
What is it?
Cake. Cake is probably one of the sweetest
Cake?
band names. Yeah, you know who they are.
Hey,
Okay.
We're Going the Distance. Is that one of the songs? We're Going the Distance. That's a great song. Sometimes I listen to that when I work out. Isn't that ironic that I listen to the band Cake when I work out?
It's listing
Well,
for
those three are just good replacements.
it's listing Cardi B on this list, but I don't know why.
He's more of a workout. Cardi B is like a cardio, and that's the opposite of food. Okay, you eat meatloaf and then you do cardio, but you don't, cardi. That's
So-
the way I see it.
It says here that where her name comes from is Bacardi, and they switched it from
Oh,
Bacardi to Cardi B. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
the band
she's
Cream.
more of
Sorry.
Cream is a good thing to have on meatloaf. Cream is great. I love Cream. Strange Brew. I know their songs because I'm 100.
Eminem.
Eminem. I never even thought about it, Shannon. This is unbelievable. We're making a lot. Is your cat upset because he's diabetic?
No, he's not listening.
Okay. Eminem. Yes. What other options do we have, Shannon?
Fiona Apple.
Oh my God. The bathtub girl. She's in the bathtub. She hurt somebody. She's washing herself. She hurt somebody. And they cut to the scenes of her legs flipping around in the tub. Meanwhile, who takes baths anymore, right? It's all showers. But Fiona Apple is a healthy option to Meatloaf.
I feel like this one doesn't really count. Ice Cube.
Well, no, water is a good option. An Ice Cube is the most dangerous probably on that list. He's like, yeah, shoot you up and rap. But Ice Cube is actually a good option. That's when I wrestled and I couldn't eat. I would chew on what, Shannon? Ice cubes. So that's cold-blooded.
Corn.
Yes, Shannon. How many of these are there? Corn. I don't eat it, but I mean, I guess other people could. And Big J really likes corn. Corn.
Fish.
That's more of a side dish, though.
Sure.
If I was gonna have a band, I'd call it Cornish Hen. The Cornish Hen.
Fish, though it's spelled differently.
Fish. Mike Vecchione follows them around. I think he loves fish.
He
And
does.
who doesn't? Who doesn't like fish? That's enough, I think, Shannon, for this
Okay.
question.
Can we just do the
I
last
thought we were
one?
gonna be-
The last one's
yeah,
really
but I
good.
thought we were going to be really hurting for food-related bands, but it turns out Meatloaf, God wanted Meatloaf, and now we have a lot of replacement food options. Okay, so what's the last one, Shannon?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, under a bridge. Under a bridge downtown, I wanted some food instead of heroin. If they would just, they were just so wrapped up in heroin. A lot of their songs were about that. A lot of their songs should have been about, my mouth is burning from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I need some water. But I guess they replaced water with heroin. And that's how they got signed. I don't know. A good band, though. These are all great options, Shannon. What a great question. Whoever sent that in, thank you. Meatloaf has died, and now we have the options in order to replace. There's no replacing Meatloaf, but there's band substitutions as there is food substitutions. Let's go to the next question, Shannon.
Russia is getting ready to attack the Ukraine. What was a time when either of you were attacked?
When have you been attacked, Shannon? Russia's about to attack the Ukraine. That's a weird way to get into that question, don't you think?
Yes.
It's a very strange way to get into that question. Russia's about to attack the Ukraine. No one likes to be attacked. When was the last time you were attacked? And it was like, Shannon, when was the last time?
So I guess the last time would be, it's got to be like over 10 years ago. But I was taking the local bus from Brooklyn to Staten Island. And there was a weird guy on the bus. And he kept looking at my friend and I from like the front of the bus. And then when I hit the wire thingy that I was going to go off at the next stop, he gets up and he walks over to us. And he's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You have such a nice smile, blah, blah, blah. I'd love for you to check out my music." And he's like, "Let me give you my business card." He walks back over to his seat. He goes like a spiral notebook and literally just rips a piece of it, writes on it. This is how long ago it was. He writes on it his MySpace page URL and then hands it to me. This is his business card. And then that was the end of that interaction. I go and I hang out at my aunt's house that day with my friend. We're in the pool all day. Several hours later, we're taking the bus back to Brooklyn. And it's pouring outside. And so like the both of us, we're like holding our shirts over our head. We're brought onto the bus. We get in, we sit down, we look up, and it's the guy on the bus again. The same day, he's on the same bus. I don't know how. And he walks over and he's like, "Oh, hey, you don't say hello." And then he's like, "Where's the business card that I gave you?" And I was like, "Oh, I must have left it at my friend's house." I was like, "Can I just have a conversation with my friend?" And he lost his mind. He's like, "This is what's wrong with people like you. You're so stuck up and blah, blah, blah." Then he starts throwing his shit around the bus. He spits at me. And then he runs to the front of the bus. So my friend and I get out, the bus stops, the driver gets out. My friend and I run into this Pizza Hut or Domino's or something that was right there. We shut the door behind. He chases us. He punches the glass. It cracks it. It doesn't completely shatter, but it breaks. And then he runs. And then the people in the Domino's or Pizza Hut, they run to the back to lock the other door. The MTA is calling the cops. The Pizza Hut's calling the cops. It was a whole thing. That was the last time I was attacked.
Wow, Shannon, you are bringing it to this podcast. That's a great story. I mean, it's not great. It's very frightening, but it's great the way that you laid it out like that, succinct. And it's just a bad story. It's very rough, but it sounds like his music might be pretty good.
It was terrifying. Was
it terrifying? Did you check it out?
Yes, we did afterwards. And it's him pretending to be a baby and screaming and crying. It was terrifying.
The way he was acting, Shannon. That's the way he was acting. He was acting like a baby and he had a full tantrum and he needs his art in order to extrapolate that.
That's fair. He was true to himself and his art.
He was being true to himself and his art. And sometimes I have tantrums like that too, Shannon. You know me.
Not that bad, Mike.
No, but I would not chase you off a bus into a Pizza Hut or a Domino's, which has subpar pizza relative to what we're used to. But I would not chase you into it. But I would sometimes, how many times have I said, you're being a little stuck up right now, Shannon, because you're hot, you're being a little stuck up. How many times have I said that to you, Shannon?
Countless times.
It's a lot. And sometimes, and that guy picked up on it.
I guess
And
it's my fault.
I'm not taking his side, Shannon, because you just wanted to have a conversation with your friend.
When was last time you were attacked, Mike?
Well, can I say something, Shannon? It's a bad way to start off an interaction by saying, you don't say hello. That's immediately confrontational, like you want to start a fight. You don't say hello to anybody. And it's like, all right, dude, hey, you're already starting off in a negative foot. How about, hi, hello. It's good. It's great to see you again. Wouldn't you rather have that as it's great to see you again?
That would have been a better start, but it's also like, were you riding this bus all day long, back and forth? How was it that we both ended up on the same bus again?
I'll be him because I live on the bus.
Oh,
I live on the bus. What are you, too stuck up to not date somebody who lives on a bus? I mean, you've got transportation everywhere, bitch. I wonder if he doesn't get studio space, what happens? Or if they go, your studio time is up. He goes, what? And then he flips out and chases them into a Domino's.
probably.
Well, it's amazing that his music and the terrifying way that he attacked you forced you to kind of write a poem about it, probably to get through the trauma.
Nope.
It's one art. My attack has been on cyber. I was cyber attacked, and the fans are tired of me talking about it, but you're going to listen to it. You're going to listen to it. And I'm putting my finger right in your faces. For those of you who can afford a computer, my finger is in your face, and you're going to listen to it because I was hacked. And I'm going to now do a 2 verification system for all of my sites. And I'm going to do it because a 1 verification system apparently doesn't work. But it also doesn't work if you just give the hackers your information.
Yeah.
That doesn't work either. And sure, that's my fault. But I thought that they were somebody else from the company, and they disguised themselves, and I got tricked, and then I got attacked, and then I got an ultimatum, which is give me some money and you'll get your account back. And I was like, that sounds crazy. And then they said, can I get some cooperation, please? But I got my account back now, Shannon. So the good guys won. The good guys actually came in first on this one. And now I've been posting stuff and I'm doing my stories and people are interested again in me and I feel complete. And can I tell you something that's really ironic? I was in Florida. It was Christmas Eve when this happened. And my friend from high school, who I haven't seen in years, was supposed to come over and meet me. And he came over, best friend in high school, comes over, and I get hacked as he's coming over. He comes over. I can't even focus on him because I don't know what information they have. I got freaked out that they hacked everything I had. So I couldn't even, I spent 5 minutes with him and then he went home because I was too distracted. So in order to save my 20,000 friends, I had to let my real one go. I couldn't focus on my real friend because all of my 20,000 fake digital friends were at risk. And I couldn't do it. So maybe in another 10 years, I can meet up with my real friend again.
Do you think maybe he is the one who hacked you because he didn't really want to spend that much time with you?
Shannon, that is brilliant. And I think he might have hacked me and he was just laughing at me while faking a conversation with my tiny mother. Shannon, I think you should just quit all of your other shows and just do this because you are an investigatory genius. I never thought that the call was coming from inside the house. The call was coming from inside the house. My friend betrayed me and he was the hacker. Damn it. Well, thank you whoever wrote that question, that was very deep, and it all came from. We all felt like the Ukraine in that situation. Shannon did when she was being attacked on a bus, and then the guy ran into a Domino's, and then I did digitally. I felt like a little digital Ukraine. And and Russia is supposed to be your friend, and then they attack you, and they just surround you, and you're like, "What's up? I thought we were going to go bowling." And Russia goes, "No, we're not going bowling," and they just are bullying you, and it's just hard.
I'm gonna go to the next question.
Let's go to the next question, Shannon. Yeah.
How can we make face masks more fun or functional?
Okay. I've got a good one for this, Shannon. Do you have any thoughts before I drop my bomb? It's a knowledge bomb.
You do yours. I have to think about it.
Okay, well, I read this, so I read the first one, and it's a mask made of bologna. A mask made of bologna. Yes, that is it. Or a lunch meat of your choice, a salami. Pepperoni's probably too small for the CDC, but a bologna or a salami or a ham, not if you're Jewish, but a ham-based mask. And then, if it's covering your face, and that's the best, because then you can eat a little bit until you get home and you don't need a mask.
Okay,
you can
Mike.
eat the way to safety, Shannon. It's perfect and it's fun.
It's going to be terrible for your skin. You're going to break out all in the spots where the mask was. It's also contributing to harming animals for not really a great reason.
Here we go. It's called COVID, Shannon.
Also, once you start taking bites out of it, you've lost your safety.
Yeah, but you take the bites out of it as you're going home. And then when you're home, it's all you've eaten the last bite of it, and then you're fine. You portion it out. It's called portion control. And I know this because I watch what I eat all the time.
How well ventilated do you think a piece of ham is that you can breathe through it?
Shannon, you're not a scientist. You don't know how well ventilated ham is. Okay, you're not a scientist, Shannon, and you're acting like a scientist right now. How well ventilated is ham? People on this podcast don't want to hear those questions, Shannon. It's just like, make it a shirt. I mean, that's merch. How well ventilated is ham? It's like, if I saw that on you, Shannon, I'd be like, what is this bitch even talking about? How well ventilated is ham? Oh my God.
I think it's a fair question. You can't breathe through it, so you're just going to have to hold your breath until you can eat your way out of it.
Yeah, you're not holding your breath. You can breathe through ham.
Can you?
It's animal skin. It's permeable. Can we look that up? Our fans are dumb. Can we look it up? Permeable. It's permeable.
Do you see it, Mike?
Permeable is allowing liquids or gases, Shannon, which air is a gas. Hello.
Okay, hold on.
Newsflash. Permeable, allowing liquids or gases to pass through it.
Okay, hold on. If you were to take a piece of ham or bologna and hold it like this and pour a little bit of water in the center of it, is that water going to go through it, or is it going to stay on top of it? It's going to stay on top of it. It's not going to go through it. It's not permeable.
It's semi-permeable.
It's not.
It's semi-permeable. It's not going to go through it. It's not like you're pouring water into your mouth. It's going to keep the bad bacteria out.
And all the oxygen.
Bacteria in. And that's what the mustard is for. Put mustard on it, and the mustard acts as a lubricant that catches bad bacteria and lets the good bacteria in. I mean, Shannon, you didn't grow up around sandwiches the way that I did, and you don't have a good relationship with them the way that I do. You don't have a good relationship with lunch meat, and I'm tired of it.
I don't have as good of an answer, I guess, as you do. My only way to make a mask more fun would be at the beginning of the pandemic. I was working a party as a bartender. Maybe this wasn't the beginning. It's when things started to open, and there was some sort of themed party. And so I took my black mask and then I ordered some glow in the dark puff paint, and I drew like whiskers and a little kitty nose that glowed in the dark so it would look cute and you could still see it. So it wasn't just a boring black mask.
That's pretty fun, Shannon. Was it a diabetic cat?
That's terrible, Mike. I had just a needle poking out of it.
I've heard somebody putting this is a mask that really is counterintuitive, but I think it's fun, where you take other people's chewing gum and put it on the inside of your mask.
It probably
So
works better
it's
than a
almost-
piece of ham.
Ooh, shots fired, Shannon. But other people's chewing gum on the inside of a mask assures that you do get COVID.
That's
You're
true.
breathing in all of it. Okay, let's go to the next question.
I think we're getting a longer and a longer delay between us, but we'll get through it. We're almost done.
Can't use this episode. I am going to flip out.
No, we can use it. We can use it. It just there's a little bit of a delay between like when I speak and when you speak. Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
Why do you have high blood pressure?
Come on, that's a cheap shot question, and I thought we screened some of these. I have high blood pressure because it's genetic. My dad had crippling high blood pressure. My uncles on my mom's side had high blood pressure. It's like, you guys aren't doctors, so stop asking questions like that. Why do you have high blood pressure? Actually, my blood pressure is getting pretty high right now, just answering this question, and you're not helping it, and you're not being very sensitive to my high blood pressure, and it's because it's genetic, and it's not because of my diet. And how about the way they check the high blood pressure? They strap you down to a chair and they put this thing that strangles your arm. It feels like your arm is going to come off. It's like, that's an intimidating way. And that makes my blood pressure go up. So it's like, find another way, a more sensitive way to take my blood pressure, and maybe it won't be so high. And then the doctor blames you for it. Oh, what's your salt intake? What's your salt intake? It's like, shut up, nerd. Okay? Shut up. And then it's a fraction that I never understand. 125 over 71. It's like, no one knows what that means, dude. Okay. Some of us took general math, and some of us are intimidated by improper fractions. They're improper because they shouldn't be coming out of your nerd mouth. Sorry, Shannon. But people really, they know that that's a sensitive subject for me. The blood pressures, the high bloods, that's our group. And we're a group. And if you make fun of us, we have a group, and it's discriminatory, and it's discrimination. I'm sorry, Shannon, but the fans know how to get my goat, which is an animal that you also don't eat.
That's right. It's such a cute animal.
You have high blood pressure, Shannon?
Nope.
Oh,
It's actually a little low.
you have low blood pressure?
It's like, it's normal, but it's on the lower side.
So if we had a kid, they would have normal blood pressure.
Perfect blood pressure.
I have high, you have low, and then the kid would have perfect blood pressure.
Yeah.
Low blood pressure is also what serial killers have, Shannon, also, I think. Because
Is that
they can
real?
keep their heart rate. They can keep their heart rate low when they do a murder.
That's interesting. Or
You
So I
didn't
feel
deny it.
no, I'm not. No, I just I'm thinking about something else that I read once where it's maybe if they they have like a lower heart rate or a lower general blood pressure where they need to do something crazy to like get a boost, where like a normal person would get a boost from like, I don't know, doing something mildly fun, and they only get this boost if they kill.
Shannon, you're so smart. You're always looking at the other side of things. Besides the ham mask that won't work, that was crazy stupid. But this is what you're saying is you just win it back so hard with your points. And I'm blown away by it. I mean, it's just really a good, it's really a good thought process. Your brain is amazing sometimes. And sometimes it just checks out and goes to Jamaica.
Want to do another question?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Hey guys, I am a fallen Catholic. How has church changed since COVID?
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you for that question. That's actually a good one. Not like the blood pressure one, which was stupid and aggressive. This question is good because I'll tell you what. I went to church. I took my mother for Christmas Eve, and they had the nativity scene on this altar, and then Jesus, and we're all spaced, and there's only a certain number of people. I had to sign up to get into Mass. So we went there and we're all distanced and everybody, like there's only a certain number of people. And I look up and Jesus is on the cross, God rest, and no mask. He doesn't have a mask. None of the nativity people have masks on. And it's like, what kind of a role model is that if you're not going to put a mask on Jesus? If he doesn't have to wear a mask, then I can cheat on my wife and I can covet my neighbor's goods. And I can just do all kinds of other things because Jesus needs to set the example for church. It's not actually Jesus, but it's the statue of Jesus. It's like, cover up, man. Cover up.
I think
Send the message to everybody else.
I think I can understand Jesus not having a mask because maybe he's socially distanced enough to not have to. But I feel like Mary and Joseph should have definitely had masks on.
The nativity scene, definitely everybody should be wearing a mask because they're very close. And it's a manger, which is a hotbed for germs. Everybody knows that mangers are like just germ infested. So, and the other thing, while Jesus is on the cross, it's like he doesn't really have to worry about COVID because he's dying for our sins another way. And, but he also could carry it though. But what you said about socially distancing is probably true. So good point. Another good point, Shannon. You're having a great episode. Can I say that to you? And I think that women can be astronauts.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, I really think I feel like we may have talked about this before, but this episode in particular is really making me think that there should be a girl's shirt in the merch store that says women can be astronauts.
But it can be just for girls?
No, I guess not. But there should be a girl version.
Astronauts? Women can be astronauts? Can a man have that shirt?
Yes, but I think that there should be an option. Like there should be a cute girl fitted one. And then there can be like the guy t-shirt too.
Well, as long as they're made by Chinese children, I think we're fine. Which is how all the merch is made at Gas Digital, by the way.
Of course.
By the way.
We are at an hour and 5 minutes. Do you want to continue with fan questions?
Do we have any more fan questions?
Yes, there's 3 more. Oh, 2 more.
3 more? 2 more. 2 or 3?
2.
Let's do 2 more. We can do them fast.
Okay. Betty White, Bob Saget, Sidney Poitier, Meatloaf, Louis Anderson all died recently. What are you dying to do in Jamaica, Shannon?
That's a weirdly worded question. For the fan who wrote that, I don't know what you're doing. It's creative in a way, I guess, but it's like, why would you take all of those tragic deaths and then morph it into a question? Can't you just ask Shannon what she's going to do in Jamaica? It's an insane question for you, and that's our fans. You get mad at me for talking to the fans that way. That's the kind of fans we have who ask a question like that. But Shannon, to their point, what are you dying to do in Jamaica?
So when I was still teetering on whether I was going or not, and Lewis was trying to bribe me into going to Jamaica, and he said that he would pay for me to swim with the dolphins, which I would love to do as long as they're not captive dolphins, because then I feel like I'm contributing to a problem. But we recently saw this article of a woman from Virginia that got stuck in Jamaica because she tested positive. And it said Americans should not be going to Jamaica right now. That's what the news article said. So now we're considering not doing excursions and just kind of staying in the house. So if that's the case, I am just looking forward to, I love the beach. Like I feel like I belong on a beach. I should live on a beach. So I am just happy to like be in the sun, not freezing weather, get a little color in my skin, and just relax for a few days.
But you're not going to swim with the dolphins because dolphins are really smart. And they know that human beings could give them COVID, probably. So it's probably not good to swim with them. I don't like dolphins because everybody talks about how smart they are. And it makes me mad because I'm smart too. And no one ever talks about that, but everybody's always talking about how smart they are. And it makes me feel dumb. And I don't like that. So it just makes me furious. So I don't want to swim with my enemy.
You're
Give me
jealous
a
of
shot.
dolphins?
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous of the way people talk about them. Oh, they're so smart. They're so smart. It's like the first thing you say when you say a dolphin. It's like, oh, they're so smart. They're so smart. They're so smart. They're so smart. It's like, what about me? It's like, I went to college. Hello. It's like saying hello to them. It's like, you got to be like, hello, I'm smart too. It's insecure. And I know that, but it's like, I get tired of people with their narrative. I go, they're also delicious. You know, that really puts the conversation on ice.
That's terrible.
They're also really delicious also. And I do that. And then people go, whoa. You know, I don't flip out and chase them off a bus and run into a Domino's, but it gets close. It gets close. Can I just talk to my friend about how smart dolphins are? No, you can't. No, you can't. Take my MySpace. Take my MySpace. Listen to my music. Because my music is just all dolphins sounds. It's all dolphin sounds. Oh, you listen to this? It's like going to a 4-year school. I went to a 4-year school. I'm not dumb like people say.
I went to a 4-year school. I just didn't go for 4 years.
What did you do, Shannon?
I went for, I think, a year and a half. And then I stopped going.
And why did you stop?
Because my parents had just opened a business back home. And I was like on campus in Long Island. And they needed help. So I just left, came home to help, but then never went back. And here I am now.
Did it for your family.
Yeah. Last question.
Last question.
Mike, you're in Aruba. Shannon is headed to Jamaica. Are you guys an island podcast now?
This is such a good question. And I can't believe this person had, because this has been fan questions that have been awful and fan questions who have been just unbelievable. And are we an island podcast now, Shannon? Let's clarify it for the fans. I feel like sometimes we are, because every few months or so, we go to an island and we go to separate islands and we can't coordinate to get to the same island because obviously there's a communication delay, just like on this, indicative of the internet. And the problems we were having on our Zoom, it's like there's an emotional disconnect. And I feel like that's why we go on different islands. But are we an island podcast?
I mean, I feel like I'd be happy to make it more of an island podcast.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends how we've been going to the islands now for, I'd say, the better part of 2 years. And maybe it's COVID pushed us, but we kind of started doing island related stories, you know. An iguana got aggressive. A coconut just dropped onto my porch, you know, like island stuff. The wind today was very aggressive, you know, instead of a person on a bus. The wind came at me today and didn't use the right pronoun. It's like that could be, is that where we're shifting to, Shannon?
Maybe. You know what we should do once I'm in Jamaica? We should do like an IG live, both on like 2 different beaches.
I'm afraid I'll get hacked, but whatever that is, Shannon, yes, maybe you can facilitate that because I'm still have PTSD from being hacked. I got PTSD and I'm afraid to click on anything.
You wouldn't really have to click on anything, just like a join the IG live. It's not like a link even, so it won't trigger you.
Conjoined?
Can join.
Well, that's all the fan questions. And we had a lot today and we had to get into some different island investigations. So that's our podcast for the day, 1 hour and 5. It flew by, Shannon. And I want you, I wish your cat safety and good health. It's like I'm signing off, but I'm also doing a toast. Shannon, to your cat, I hope he has good health and the other cat doesn't die of jealousy. And I hope you have a safe trip to Aruba and you stay away from the dolphins because they're not that smart. They're not that smart. And you live on the beach as is your dream. And I hope that I continue to have water and that all of my sites stay safe. and we meet back again in New York someday.
Cheers.
Cheers. For Mike Vecchione Investigates and Shannon, and we didn't do plugs. We should probably do them now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We don't have to do the whole plug thing, but let's just do them quickly. At Comic Mike V on all social media platforms, and MikeVecchione.com for dates. At Comic Mike V for all my sites, and MikeVecchione.com for dates. Macaroni Rascals for my podcast with me and Greg Stone. It's my other podcast. Please subscribe and be a Patreon subscriber. Shannon.
You can follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is, Ding. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. And that's also on Gas Digital Network. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com. That's completely free, but the best way to support the show is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use promo code MVI. That will give you a 1-week free trial, which gives you access to every single episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates, every episode of No Disrespect, and every other show on the Gas Digital Network. There's also 3 new shows joining this month, including Yo MMA Rap with Louis J. Gomez and Dave Smith. Wild Goose, I believe the name of it is, with the legendary Zach Wild and JD DeServio of Black Label Society, and Berg's Base with the one and only Aaron Berg. So you get access to all of that for free for 1 week. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, and tell a friend, and go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs, and hopefully the soon upcoming Women Can Be Astronauts t-shirts. And that's it.
And they can be, and that's true merch. For Shannon, I'm Mike Vecchione. This has been Mike Vecchione Investigates. Thank you for joining us. Special Island episode. We'll see you next week.
Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.